Hello everyone, welcome to Chain Breakers. We're a Christian recovery program. We focus on the road to recovery using the 12 steps. We use various recovery materials, including the Bible, AA Big Book, NA Basic Text, Celebrate Recovery, and other relevant sources. That's good. Yeah. We want to make it very clear this is not an AA or NA meeting. We're not affiliated with either fellowship. With many of us being members of these fellowships ourselves, we have a great respect for their traditions. We endorse them. They do not endorse us. They're gracious enough to let other groups use their literature as long as the readings are kept intact, which is what we do here. The Chain Breakers experience allows you to be changed, transformed, and renewed by God working in your life. As you work and study the 12 steps, you will step into the future that God has planned for each one of you. We believe that through the 12 steps and the power of Jesus Christ that we can be chain breakers. If you're not a Christian, please know you're wanted and welcome here. We'll pass the basket for donations to help pay for weekly expenses, including free literature and Bible we give to patients when bringing our meeting into treatment centers for H&I. If you're watching online and would like to donate, we will put the give link in the chat. That will take you directly to the church's donation page. Please just select Chain Breakers in the fund section. Every dollar helps, and we thank you for your contributions. Whether you can donate or not, we thank you for being with us. Welcome everyone who's watching online. Feel free to put it in the chat where you're watching from, and if you're new, so that we can welcome you. Also, please hit the like or follow button to get notified when we have our meetings. And also, please hit the share button if you're comfortable doing so to help us share recovery and the gospel. We also invite you to follow us on YouTube. Our meetings are posted there as well. We encourage sponsorship. A sponsor is someone who will take you through the 12 steps. We also encourage you to get a list of phone numbers to help you build a support network. If anyone would like a list of phone numbers, would you please raise your hands? Anyone need phone numbers? Okay. Do we have any newcomers or visitors to the group for the first time that would like to introduce themselves? Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm Dan.
Dan, welcome. Welcome. Katie, welcome. Welcome, guys. Give them a round of applause. Okay. Corey and Sarah, would you mind passing around a men and women's list for Dan and let's see. If you're willing and able to be a sponsor, would you please raise your hands and keep them up for a moment? Okay. If you need help getting a sponsor, you can see me at the front. I'll be happy to get you connected with somebody. Any newcomers or visitors? Do we have them on the table? We do. If you would like someone to reach out to you, as we understand how hard it is to pick up that 1,000-pound phone, simply fill out the top portion of the cards on the table, and someone will get in touch with you. This is not a necessity. We respect your decision to be anonymous. It's just an option if you would like it. So it's a tool we could use. I know for me, when I first came in recovery, and I had to get one of those phone lists, and my sponsor said, you got to call 2 people a day, new people from this. And it was like torture to my soul. Like, I literally felt like I was like calling someone, like asking them on a date, like, and we don't know each other, and it's super awkward.
Like that.
So it does be like that, doesn't it? So anyway, we understand how hard that is. So if you know that you have a hard time reaching out to people, but you need to build that support network, that's just a tool that you could use, and we'll be happy to call you, and we'll be happy to break that ice. We've been on the other end of that, so if you know you struggle with reaching out to people, that's a tool that you can use. Just fill it out, and you can put it in the basket as it gets passed around. Also, at the bottom of that card on the table is a prayer request section. If you have any prayer requests, you could write it down at the bottom of that card, place it in the basket, and we'll be praying for you. We have a prayer warriors group, and so we pray for these cards daily, so we'll be praying for you throughout the week. You don't even have to put your name on it if you don't want to. We might not know who we're praying for, but God does, and we know that God hears and answers prayer here. So lastly, if you want to get involved, we have a commitment sign-up sheet at the front table. Just put your name down. And if you don't want to get involved, you know what we say here at Chain Breakers, get involved anyway. My name's Angelina. I'm a recovered, redeemed, and delivered addict and alcoholic. Good to see everyone tonight. So tonight I'm super excited. We just finished up our Step 9 study, and it took us a little bit to get through it. And so Chris here with me tonight, and he and Lois, another guy in the back, we went and did H&I at a treatment center on Friday night. And both of these guys have a lot of wisdom and, you know, are anointed. And so when I heard them share, I'm like, you know what? You got to come out and share your story. And he agreed. And I only got to get a little bit of it. But from what I was able to hear, you guys are in for a treat tonight. And I'm so excited. You know, I've known Chris just a short amount of time. But you know, right away, he started coming to church. He got involved. He's of service. He works a program. And, you know, he works solid recovery. And so I know you guys are going to be blessed tonight. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Chris here. Can we give him a great big chain breaker welcome?
Thank y'all. Well, good evening. My name is Chris.
Hey, Chris.
And I'm blessed. Really, really blessed. That's you know, metaphorically speaking. I try not to get too far into my backstory. You know, it's not really important. You know, we can trade war stories for days. I have real war stories, literally, and that's not what my focus is in my recovery. That's a part of who I am. That's my past, and I've gained wisdom from that. But it's what I'm doing right now. How am I living today? Am I serving a purpose? Am I doing things that legitimately make me happy? Am I being of service to others? Am I giving back? That's the 12th step. The 12th step is sharing what you have and living it. I live the steps every single day. You know, each step has applied to many different circumstances, you know, but I just try to live by that moral code, because that's just a good motto to live by in general for being a good person. Anything that makes your life unmanageable, you have to let go. Whether if it's being a liar, an alcoholic, a drug addict, a dishonest person, whatever's making your life unmanageable, it's gotta go. The next step is you have to have an image that you aspire to be. You have to have a goal. You have to have a reason. You have to want to maximize your life experience. And you can't do that through drinking and drugs or lying or cheating or anything that makes your life unmanageable. It serves no purpose. So every day, you know, I hit every single point of mine that I know will bring me to that goal I just spoke about. You know, my physical health is extremely important, whether we like it or not. That's the first thing people see. So I've cultivated it, and I work hard on it all the time. So I present my best self to the world. That's one. Mentally, I do things to keep my mind sharp. I have to be on point. I can't get caught lacking or slipping, and that's not even in a dangerous situation. That's with everything. Am I going to be slipping at work? No. Am I going to be slipping as a father? No. Am I going to be lacking as a brother? I definitely, for dang sure, ain't doing that neither. Spiritually, everybody has a boss except God. Everybody has to answer to somebody but God. My relationship with God has become one of my strongest tools, my moral compass. Everything that I do is, you know, psychologically, you know, that's something that a lot of people struggle with, you know. Am I doing things to keep that part guarded and sharp? You know, so I'm achieving balance. That's what it is. I do one thing to touch each of those points, sometimes even more than one thing to touch each one of those points. And at the end of the day, when I go to bed, my conscience is clear, because I know that no matter what, I tried my best. I did present my best self. I did put my best foot forward. I've equipped myself to have the tools to get me to where I want to be. And that's what it's all about. What am I doing right now to be that man that I know I can be? You know, I couldn't see that for almost 10 years. You know, it was like a dark cloud, like it's hovering over my, hovering over my eyesight like this. You know, I can see up, I can see down, but I can't see straight. I wasn't able to think clearly. I definitely wasn't seeing clearly. I wasn't respecting my body. I was doing my mind a disservice. I was completely psychologically detached, mentally numb, emotionally broken, didn't even matter. And I choose today to say, screw that, I can't keep shooting myself in the foot and expecting my life to go good. No. If you do wrong, followed by a wrong thing, and you're around wrong people in wrong environments, stuff is going to go wrong. That's just the laws of the universe. But if I do the right thing, the next right thing, and the next right thing, and the next right thing, then my life is going to go good. And if not, at least I try my best. And that's what's important. I can sleep like a baby at night because I know I try my best. And so far, I've been good enough for everything that I put my mind to. And that's one of the gifts that you get by making that decision. To turn your will and your lives over to the care of God as you understand Him. Praying only for His will, and the willingness to carry that out. That's what it's all about, man. This is bigger than me. I'm serving a purpose. Every day, I'm moving in purpose. Whether if it's being a good man and a good example at my house, in my community. Whether if it's being a good young man to kids and showing them what a man's love and a man's strength can offer, and a man's guidance can offer. Giving back to places. I was just there. I ain't forget where I came from. Damn, 10 months ago, I was in inpatient too. Sucking. Pause. Sucking. Like hurting. Really. So I know what it's like. I'm humble. I'm willing to tell you that you can get past this. It's not where your story ends.
Amen.
You're in a place that you can achieve balance physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, all that. Are you willing to truly put the work in to get it? And that's subjective, depending on who you are. You got to have something that drives you. You have to find that. You have to have self-awareness and determination and motivation and esteem. You build self-esteem through achieving attainable goals, short-term goals. You achieve self-esteem by accomplishing things. You achieve self-esteem by taking care of your body and your mind and your spirit. All of that. It all takes work. Yeah. All takes work. Nothing easy, nothing good should be easy anyways. Ooh. That way, you didn't earn it. And there's no sense of accomplishment. And your purpose isn't being fulfilled. 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all.
So good, Chris.
But where I'm at today is doing this. Giving back. Being that man that my parents raised me to be. Whenever I start losing motivation or something like that, I think about my childhood. Am I shaping up to be the man that my mom saw in my eyes when I was a little boy? All that potential, all those hopes, aspirations, love. Am I fulfilling that? Am I doing this? I have to do this. I have a literally defenseless brother. I have to be accountable for him. I can't do him wrong. When my parents literally can't do it anymore. It has to be a smooth transition. I can't disrespect my upbringing and my family like that. That's my life's work. That's what I want to be. When I'm 65, I want to be able to take care of my brother. What am I doing now so I can be that man that can do that? Am I pushing myself every day to succeed? Do I believe in myself? Absolutely. Do I think that I'm enough? Absolutely. Do I think I'm the baddest dude in the room? Absolutely. As I should, right? I've earned this, and I must do this. I have to. If not, I'm selling myself short, and I'm spitting on my family, my upbringing. I wasn't raised to be soft. I have to have this side of me, though, this compassionate side. All these things I ignored when I was using, you know, I didn't even think I could even cry anymore when I was using. But I feel it. I feel everything, and I wouldn't trade it for the freaking world. I wouldn't. My worst day sober, I'll always take that over my best day high. 100 out of 100 times. Because I see my eyes are crystal clear. My heart is pure. My conscience is at peace. And I go to bed every night knowing that I'm achieving. I'm proud of myself. I can be proud of myself today. You know, when I was using out there, I didn't look in the mirror one time. And I like looking in the mirror. I really do. I didn't look one time. I didn't brush my teeth. I didn't brush my teeth, Brenda. That would drive you nuts. I didn't brush my teeth for weeks. Wore 3 sets of clothes for weeks. Took 2 showers. You know, I was around liars and scum and hatred and chaos. And today I'm not. I'm around good people. I have time to reflect. I can appreciate nature. I can smell everything. I can hear everything. I can feel and taste and experience everything and appreciate it fully. You know, all my senses are firing off evenly now. You know, my perspective on the world is just broadened, you know, reawakened. That was a spiritual awakening for me. I've had many, many spiritual awakenings. I didn't need the 12 steps for that. But I come to these revelations, which is awakenings, that has evolved as I've gotten older. But it's always driven to what I know is what's right for me and what I want to do. For once, I have a choice to do whatever I want to do now. I'm not a prisoner in my own body no more. I'm not a prisoner to the pharmaceuticals. I'm not a prisoner to the bandos and the crack dealers and the violence and the prostitutes. I am Teflon to everything now. And with that, my life is just going to go better. It just has to. Rededicating my life. I've been saved before, but a rebirth was needed. Literally. A part of me needed to die. For real. And a part of me needed to be reawakened. I've always had these things within myself. That's my biggest reward in recovery is finding myself again. You know? Finding out that I'm enough. More than enough. I don't need no freaking substance to make me anything that I already know that I am. I want to grind it out. I want to figure out. I want to get it the hard way. I want to earn it. You know? I want to earn this charisma. I want to earn this charm. I want to earn this strength. I want to earn the things that I have. And I'll appreciate them better that way. And that's the gifts of a decision. That's all it is. That's what separates me from who I was before. I made a decision that pushed my life in a certain trajectory. I can always make that decision. I always think, I think about using and getting high all the time. I just don't freaking do it. I weigh the pros and cons. Do I want death, destruction, chaos, bandos, liars, thieves, not brushing my teeth, not changing clothes, or do I want life? Do I want to be that man that my parents raised me to be? Am I living a conscious, a peaceful state? There was a man last week we saw. I was out fishing, and this man last week, he was walking with us. It was right behind the church, that lake right there.
Yeah.
It was, we go fishing down there. Caught a snapping turtle the other day. Anyways, this man, he saw us, and we were just talking to him, and he did a bird call, right? And we were like, what the heck? These geese came out the trees, Angelina. Out the trees. Hit the water and followed us. And they were chilling. I want to be in tune with nature like that. That's cool as hell. Cool as heck. Hell's not cool.
We've been there.
Been there.
That wasn't
a
cool.
couple times. Not cool. Not a good look. But just the joy that man had in his heart. That's peace. You know? Walk around with my shoes off and not worry about stepping on needles.
Right.
I want to feel the earth.
Yeah.
Dang it. You know, I want to be connected to it. There's a synergy going between us. There's a synergy going between all of us. That's how I respect things that are organic. You know, I was a slave to something artificial, something detrimental, and my life was bull crap. It was beat, you know? And now I put good things into my body. I put good things into my mind, into my heart, into my spirit, and into my consciousness. You know, I listen to positive things. I have things that stimulate my subconscious in a good way. Inspiring quotes I subscribe to every single day. If I don't read them, I'm going to look at say inspiring. That's going to put me in a certain mindset. You know? I reflect, I draw. I'm very expressive in everything that I do. I'm expressive through cooking, through drawing, all that stuff. I add my own little flair to everything. You know, that's the presence I bring, and I like that. And so, yeah, what I was saying about that was that I just do things that stimulates my brain and keeps it positive. You know, I don't look at World Star no more. I don't listen to Lil Durk all the time no more. You know, I don't look at war videos no more. Gore video, like all these things, man. That stuff pollutes your brain. I don't put McDonald's and freaking cinnamon buns and stuff in my body. That's trash. You know, I put everything I put in my body has a purpose. Fuel, energy, focus. You know, not BS. If you're not adding to me, you're subtracting from me. That's simple math. You know? So I do all these things because I'm driven to be who I want to be. You know? In order to be that guy, I have to put good stuff in my body. I have to put good stuff in my mind and in my heart. I got to be around good people. I got to treat people well. You know, use my gifts. Use my strength, but use my gifts too. Use my strengths in the right ways. I've been to war multiple times. I've killed people, you know, literally. But I respect that part of me, but that's not me though. You know, I'm capable of that, but that's a tool. It has its purpose, just like everything else. Today, I coach kids. That's badass to me. You know, the army stuff, that's cool. That's a part of my past. That'll always be a part of me. But how am I applying that into my living now? You know, how am I representing my upbringing? You know, this is my parents, this is my grandparents speaking through me. This is North Carolina speaking through me. This is peace speaking through me. This is everywhere that I've been speaking through me. You know, I'm not old, but I'm wise. You know, I've lived a full life inside and outside of addiction. In addiction, I worked at the Pentagon. In addiction, I had offers to work at the White House. In addiction, I was able to do all these things, own my own business and stuff like that. Imagine what I can do sober, man. If I can do all that, operating at 30% of my potential, if that, I'm being generous. You feel me? Imagine what I can be. I'm not saying be perfect. There's no such thing. But what if I'm at 70%, 69%, 84%? Give myself a chance, man. A fair, honest chance. I'm not going to come up short if I try my best, because I know I'm enough. I was bred, I was like, you know, sharpened through my experiences. You know? And that's where I'm at today, man. You know? That's what this is. The amount of work you're willing to put in is what you're going to get out. It's simple. You know, the steps. It's all about, you know, surrendering. And then it's redemption, you know, personal inventory, accountability, making things right with people, making things right with yourself too, forgiving yourself, showing yourself love and kindness, all the love you give to outside into yourself too. And then being of service to others, giving it back. I'm in a point now I can really give something back that'll change someone's life. Yeah. You know, we can break generational curses.
Yes.
Your kids don't have to experience addiction. We take a lot of things in. We don't have to let things pass through us. Right. Yeah. Pass through us in a positive way. Teach our offspring and the next man and the people in here the right thing to do. They don't ever have to experience that side of you. You don't have to do that to yourselves no more. You don't. Maximize your life potential. You know, if you want to travel, do that. Put the work in to be able to do that. If you want to be, you know, have a certain physique, what are you doing in the meantime to get there? If you want to be, you know, anything that brings you money in your career field, if you want a promotion, put in the work to get that. You know, give yourself a fair chance, though. You feel me? Give yourself a fair chance. Operate at 100% of yourself and your capabilities. You know, no more suffering and slavery and BS bullcrap, man. That's not a good look. It's just not. Like, you just feel so much better on this side. You really do. And, you know, I'm just here to spread the love, that's all. That's all I can do at the end of the day is, you know, share my experience with others. You know, all these tools I've gotten from the good and the bad in my life. You want to give it back, you know, in my own way. Express it in my own way. Put my unique twist to it. My charm to it. My southern charm to it. My mannerisms. My chivalry. My love to it, you know. And I suggest everybody do the same, you know. You got to really, really want this and love yourself and trust yourself through this. You know, your mind is the most powerful thing you got. It's capable of so many things. You know, it can be used whatever way you want. You can literally be whoever you want to be. You can. There's nothing stopping you. Except yourself. You learn to conquer that inner voice and it becomes, you know, a beacon of strength. You know, I got to the point, I don't tell myself nothing negative. Because if you're not adding to me, you're subtracting. Even I take that for myself too. Come on, man, we got to grow together. Come on. You know, trust yourself. You know, if you're not gonna believe in yourself, ain't nobody will. You know, what am I doing in between so I can reinforce this way of thinking though? Am I putting good things in my body? Am I being good to people? Am I taking care of my hygiene? Am I brushing my teeth, Brenda? You know, all these things I know make me feel good, you know? And that's all you can do, you know. That's just where I'm at. You know, everybody has their story and their past, you know. And I'm just sharing mine with y'all. You know, it's very, very honest, very open, very willing. You know, once I started getting honest, my life started getting way better, man. I can sell whatever, man. I can sell snake oil. I can. I can sell wool to a sheep, cotton to a sheep, you know. But is it authentic? Is it true? Is it from the heart? Is it well planned? Is it given from my best shot? Did I give myself the best chance to do that? You know, I choose to do everything 100%. I choose, you know, if we're talking warfare, 100%. If we're talking love, 100%. If we're talking cooking, 100%. If we're talking speaking, sharing, 100%. And like I said before, I go to bed at night and I'm chilling. You know, I don't have stuff that's keeping me up at night from things that I did to other people and stuff like that. You know, I'm good. I know I didn't screw anybody over that day. I'm chilling. I know I didn't lie to anybody that day. I'm good. I know I didn't hurt anybody. I'm straight. I'm cool. All the way. Every single point has been hit. Closure, full closure. You know? And, are we looking on time?
Oh, I was so in listening, I'm not even paying attention.
What time?
We're good.
I got my glasses on.
We're good. I know that clock's always wrong. What time is it, Ange? Oh, yeah, good. We're good.
Oh, man. We're just, you know, just having a kickback, man. I know I've said a lot, but, you know, I don't ever plan these things at all. I don't. I just speak from the heart and trust that it's enough. Trust that I'm enough. You know, have that belief that I am enough. I'm going to do well because this is something I care about. You know, God's given me a very powerful voice and a very, very pronounced charisma. I need to use it for good. You know, I can't use it to be dishonest and lie to people. You know, I could, but I ain't. Just like I think about using, but I ain't. I ain't gonna do it. You know? And, yeah, that's just what it is. That's what it's always gonna be with me. You know, what you get is what you see. I'm very transparent. I'm wide open today. I'm wide open. Like I said, my sight is clear, you know. And God answers me in very profound ways. If he doesn't directly tell me, me and God's relationship is different, you know. Like, he doesn't give me direct answers, which I'm cool with that though. You know, he's like, I'm gonna open this door. I'm gonna kind of give you a hint. I'm gonna introduce you to these people. You know, that's gonna open up things for you. Yeah. I'm gonna allow things to happen for you if you're willing to take them and to see them for what they are. You know, so I always, with that being said, you know, that's being blessed. That's what I consider being blessed. That's my definition of it. You know, and like with that too, when I rest forever, when I go to sleep forever, I know my stuff is cool. You know, God knows I tried my best. You know, and that's all I can do. I just have to give myself a chance, man. And that's the biggest gift from all this. It's a second chance, you know, and a decision, sound decision. And today I can be, you know, somebody that my parents are proud of. I can be a good member of my community. I can offer peace and love and strength and sustenance and happiness. All these things. And like I said, I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed, y'all. that's about it for me.
That's
Just
awesome.
let me share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I got to tell you, like, I needed to hear that. This right before the meeting, everything, our signs broke. That was everything was breaking. I was like so nutty that at one point I'm like, Angel, you get up and share tonight. And then I'm like, no, I can't leave because I'm a Zoom. I'm like, let me. So guess what? Like that was everything I needed to hear tonight, you know? And there was a couple things that you said that like really stuck out to me. And it's like, if not now, when? All we got is now, right? If you're not going to fight now, when? Because guess what? Every day we can come up with excuses of why not now, right? And that's all we have. That's all we have. And another thing that you were sharing about too, it's like we got to put the work in.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I could sit here and, you know, and this isn't from a judging point because I've been this person, you know, I'm not a first time winner, second time winner. It took me quite a few times, right? And you know what I had? I had a lot of wishbone and not a lot of backbone, right? So yes, I was wishing for a new freedom and a new happiness, right? I was wishing for it, not knowing, right? I wished for it, I didn't know it. But today I know real peace and real happiness.
Yes, ma'am.
Today I know freedom. And it didn't come by wishing.
Sure.
It came by action, right? So I could sit here and tell you all day long, I'm going to be a doctor. You watch, I'm going to be a doctor, right? And guess what? If I don't go to medical school, I could sit there and say, I'm going to be a doctor all day long. But guess what? I'm only lying to myself. I'm never going to be a doctor unless I put that work in and go to medical school.
Facts.
Right? So we could sit here and say, I'm going to be sober. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, right? But if I'm putting no action into that, a wish is all it'll ever be.
You're spinning your wheels.
Yeah. You know? And so, you know, that's kind of the question that was like sticking, if not now, when? You know? Because you do all have value. You do all have a purpose, a greater purpose. That's way more than just drinking and drugging and ripping and running.
It's not where your story ends.
No. But that all starts with a decision, right? Because faith without works is dead, right? And a decision without action is fantasy, right? So we could have that fantasy, or we could have better and be better, you know? And as you were sharing some of this, like, you know, and I was thinking about, as you were saying, like, am I taking care of my mind? Am I taking care of my, like, all these different things, right? And do you know who your greatest competition is? It's you.
For real.
And my greatest enemy, right? It's not the drugs. It's not the alcohol. It's not even the devil.
Nope.
The greatest enemy we got is the one in me. Right? And so it's like that competition with myself every day. Yes, right? Yes, and it all comes up with, you know, with action. We got to take action. You know, because guess what? We're not going to be our best selves by ourselves, right? But we're not going to be our best selves if we don't put anything into becoming the best me, right? Because I want to be all God has called me to be, and I want to do all that God has called me to do. Right? But that's not just going to come by sitting there doing nothing, you know? Just like any relationship, too. A relationship, you know, if you're going to grow any relationship, any friendship, right? The one thing you have to invest into that is time, right? I'm not even talking like, and you see, like romantically, you go on a date, you go get coffee, you know, then maybe next time you get dinner, you spend a little more time to see. You know what I mean? That's how you grow that relationship. Same thing with a friendship, right? The more I spend time with somebody, the more I'm going to get to know them, right? And that's the same thing in our relationship with God, right? And so people would say to me, here's another I just wish I had a relationship with God like you do. Then I'd be okay. Well, again, I didn't get it wishing. Right? I put the time into my relationship with God. It is the single most important fact of my entire life and being. I love my husbands. I love my children. But God is first. Because I know when I'm not putting God first, I'm not a mom. I'm not a wife. Right? I'm not nothing to nobody. And I don't do that out of like in the beginning it was like I have to. You know what I mean? But I don't do it from a have to anymore. I do it from a want to. Because that's where my peace is. That's where my security is, right? I'm nothing without him, and I could do nothing apart from him, right? But we got a partner in our relationship with God. He'll do what I can do, not what I won't do.
Right.
That was good. I felt God on that one. So, and we got to fight. We got to fight for our recovery. Mm-hmm. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it, right? And, maybe you're at a point tonight where you feel like you're just in a losing battle, right? And you feel like, you know what, this is all there is for me. I don't got no fight left. The fight's over, And I had talked about this kind of like a couple weeks ago. God had given me like this analogy. We were in the 9th step and it was using this analogy about a boxing ring, right? And, it had me thinking, like, God will speak prophetically to me like that. And so he had me thinking about how it's like, how addiction, it's a lot like boxing, right? Because it's a fight at times, right? But the only way that you lose a fight is if you don't get back in the round. If you don't get up and fight another round, right? And some of you think you lost the fight. But the only way that you lose the fight, if you confuse losing the round with losing the fight.
Yes, ma'am. Amen.
Right?
Amen.
You just lost another round. So maybe that's you tonight, and I'm here to tell you, I don't care if you lost 3 rounds. There's still more rounds. The only way you're going to lose the fight is if you confuse because you lost the round with losing the fight.
Yep.
And that there's another round.
Give up.
Yes. And, that greatest enemy is the one in me, right? But you know what else is in me? I can win that fight because the champion lives in me. Mm-hmm. Right? And Jesus, it says, he is the champion. He championed over death. And what do we know addiction ends in? Death. So guess what? Because he championed over it and he lives in me, I can champion too. And I'm here to tell you that so can you. So maybe you're sitting here and you're feeling broken and you're like, that's it. This is just it. It's not it. It was just a round. So we can be a champion, right? When the champion lives in us. And who is that champion? That champion is Jesus Christ.
Yes, ma'am.
We can have victory because he had victory and he lives in me. So now that victory that was his becomes mine. And we can be victorious. And we can overcome because he overcame. Just like Chris, just like me. There's nothing, God's no respecter of persons, right? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want that new life? That new life, we know here at Chainbreakers, it all begins with a decision. Mm-hmm. And that's that 3rd step decision. Mm-hmm. Just like Chris was sharing, the single most important fact of our lives, right? That 3rd step decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care and protection of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. So that you can champion too. Not just over addiction, right? But over life so that we can have a life that we don't need to escape from, right? So we can have peace, that we could, Jesus says, I came that you might have and enjoy your life in abundance to the full until it overflows. Mm-hmm. Abundant life is waiting for you. And it's like you said, we got to choose, right? And scripture says this, I set before you life and death. Choose life.
Choose life.
So I'm here to tell you tonight, choose life. Choose life. Don't give up. It was just a round. The fight's not over. And how we get back in that ring and this time we could win and be champion is by making that 3rd step decision and turning our will and our lives over to the care and protection of Jesus Christ. And here at Chainbreakers, we believe the way to salvation. It's as easy as ABC. A, we just admit the truth about ourselves, that we're sinners, that we've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. B, we believe that God did something about all of our sin, all of our mistakes, all of those shortcomings through his son Jesus when he died on the cross so that we could be forgiven and have a relationship with him. See, we commit our will and our lives over to his care and protection. And we like to add the D in there. We do it today because tomorrow is never promised. People die every single day from this disease. Don't let that be you. Choose life. So we never wrap up any meeting without giving you that opportunity for that champion to come down and live down on the inside of you. So we're going to invite everybody, if you could please just bow your heads, close your eyes, and you don't even have to say it out loud, just from your heart, something like this. And if you're watching online with us, this is for you too. If you would like to take that third step now, say something like this. Father in heaven, thank you for loving me.
Thank you for loving me.
I admit to you that I'm a sinner, that I've made mistakes, and I'm sorry. I believe you did something about my sin, about all my mistakes, through your son Jesus, when he died on the cross, so I could be forgiven. Jesus, come into my heart. I give you my life. I receive you as my Lord and Savior. With your eyes still closed, please, head still bowed. If you said that prayer with me tonight for the first time, would you please raise your hand? I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to embarrass you. I just want to be able to pray for you. I see that hand back there. Keep them up just one moment. I just want to be able to pray for you and to give you a Bible to start you out. Just eyes closed, please. Okay, Father, thank you so much. Thank you for this night. Thank you for what you have done and currently are doing through Chris, through his testimony, Lord, and through every one of our lives, Lord. I pray for every single person in here tonight, God, that you would break off every chain of addiction and that you would live and reside in us and through us so that every single person we meet would meet you as well, and that you would be glorified and that our lives would be changed and transformed for your glory. We love you, and it's in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys, let's give another round of applause for Chris. That was so awesome. That was such a blessing.